What up, my people? Welcome to the Disky Football Talk, and today we'll be talking about the Carling Black Label Cup round of 16 match, which took place today, which is Pirates against Siwelele FC. And let's just get into the video. Let's just get into the video. And the first action of the game we have is the penalty, and it's just a simple movement, and then nice pass there by Mfukeng, and then the player commits the defender of Siwelele commits the foul. And Makgopa, I think he's improved his penalty technique. It's just unfortunate with this one, but to me it looked like a good penalty, but it's just that he didn't score. But the technique, I like the technique, Yeah. So now on to another action. So in this action here, it's a deep build up, It's like very deep in Pirates half, so the build up needs more players from Pirates. And as we can see from the shape they have, here's the back four, which is Libito, Siema, Mbokazi and Hoto. We have a 4, and then we have a 2 in the midfield. So basically it's a 4-2 structure, but because China is also is like a ball playing goalkeeper, so you can add him also as the extra player here. And then you can see when you add China, it's gonna be a 7 against 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it's basically 7 against 5. So based on the numbers, Pirates must be able to play in this area and able to build up well, because they have the numbers. If you check here, it's a 7 against 5. So in a deep build up, I think the structure it's a good structure to have, And then we'll continue to see how they progress in this area, And as you can see, they're able to find each other, they're able to play, It's just that this pass, the execution wasn't there, but it was a good idea, And we're moving on to the next action. Okay, again, it's a build-up structure here for Pirates, but as you can see, it's no longer in a deep zone for them. It's in the center. So in the center, there's no need to have a 4-2 build-up, because the structure changes when you're in this area, So they changed it to a 3-2. It's a 3 at the back, and the 2 midfielders are there. And if you check, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 3. So again, they still have a numerical advantage, which is something we like to see at all times. Is when your team is a positional based team, it's all about having numerical advantages at every zone of the pitch. If the ball was here, you must have more players than the opposition. If the ball is here, you have to have more players than the opposition. And for Pirates, I like the structures that they always do. It shows that they're a well organized team and they know what they're doing. So we'll see how they progress in this 3-2 shape. Let's just wait for them to progress the ball and see. Oh, okay, then they didn't really penetrate and do anything with the ball, but you can see that at least they are trying. So on to another action. So this on this clip, we'll be focusing on the defensive structure of Siwelele, And as you can see, they have the back 4 here, and then they have a 5 in midfield, and then they have 1 striker. So basically, if you watch the game, the reason why they have a 5-man midfield is so that they can block these balls coming into these areas here. The players that are playing in the half space. We have Mfukeng on the left hand half space, and we have Apolis on the right hand half space. So I think with Coach Siema, I think he identified that Pirates likes to to play these balls into these areas here. The players that have been highlighted, they know, Siema knows that they like to play. So when they have these three are compact and they are closing down the spaces, so that Pirates can't like penetrate to get the ball in these areas, and I always say this in my videos that central progression is the most dangerous. If a team can able to attack through the middle, that's when like they are more dangerous. Yes, going wide is needed sometimes, but like central progression, I mean, is the most dangerous. And if you watch all the top teams, Barcelona and PSG, they always try to attack centrally, and let's just move on to see how this move progresses, but you've seen what they're trying to do is Siwelele, so we're gonna continue. And Pirates recycle the ball, they move it other way because they couldn't like progress centrally, so you have to find ways to recycle the ball. Okay, now on to another action here. Okay, they lose the ball. It's a bad pass there by Samgelo Zwane, who had a quiet game. I thought like I was excited when he went to Siwelele just to see how he performs, but okay, let's just move on. Muremi, I think it's a wrong decision here by him to choose to go like on his own, cause the run by Makgopa, like the movement of Makgopa I like his movement, like cause it's not really static. It's just his movement is on point. Like most of the time, it's always on point. And here with Muremi, I think, like I always say, not like always say, but like decision making has to be better. Like here, if you watch the what's the game, De Bruyne passing Hoyland the goal for Napoli when they played in the Champions League, I think it was a similar situation like this, where you can see Muremi is running with the ball, and then the striker makes the run, and then all you have to do is just feed him, just put him in, and you can see he timed his run perfectly here, because this player is playing on, Muremi, man, decision making, my guy, he chooses to and then there's a turnover, and check, it's just that some of the PSL teams, they don't capitalize on this type of mistakes. They lack quality, but like those transitions are very dangerous, especially when you're playing against top team. Those transitions will be like the death of Pirates, so yeah, let's just move on to the next action to see what we have for the next action, again. So in the structure, it's we focusing on the defensive structure of Siwelele again, just to emphasize the 4-5-1 structure, to block central progression, and in this clip we will see how Pirates will penetrate this mid block, the 4-5-1 mid block they have. They moving the ball, and then they will make a mistake, and which we will identify now quickly, which is here. It's two players going on to mark one player, and then they leave this space here, which they were trying to protect, and you check, Mfukeng, he identifies that okay, two players are coming on, there's no need for me to take an extra touch and do like unnecessary stuff, just the one touch in between these players, so that our police can like get on the ball here in these dangerous areas, here centrally. Central progression is what is like very important, and it's very dangerous. You see, you will see now, plays it in, and look what happens. This domino effect is that now the defender who was here has to come out to mark Apolis, and now look what happens. It leaves Makgopa with this defender a one-on-one, and you'll never want to leave a defender one-on-one with a striker. You know, you always want to have maybe 2 players against 1 striker. So you see the domino effect. What happens is that now there's space that Makgopa can exploit and Pirates can exploit by them in the midfield. The midfielders, they didn't read the game well, you know, chasing 2 players, chasing 1 player, and then the space open arms, and then, you know, then okay, nothing comes of it because the Siwelele defender, like, you know, commits a foul because he recognized the danger. And then this is another action here where we see Mofokeng. Like we always say that these half spaces are very dangerous zones, you know, and we can see here Mofokeng is all alone, is not being marked, you know, he's behind this midfield line, and we'll see how this move progresses, you know. It's very dangerous, that area, you know. He gets it to Mofokeng. Mofokeng, really, you know, one of my favorite players, you know. Yeah, he chooses the wrong decision again, and I don't know why he chose to keep the ball here instead of like playing a simple pass to Moremi, and then Moremi would just play the same time cross, not even like try to control, play same time cross here, and then look, we have 2 players wide open. These players are not even the ball watching, they're not even aware of these 2, you know. It was supposed to be a simple pass here to Moremi, then Moremi is the same time cross, and then it's a goal. And then but Mofokeng chooses the wrong decision, you know, and then Siwelele does this, the attack, you know, and it's a transition again. I always say the transition, Pirates needs to be able to deal with these transitions, because against a better team, that will turn into a goal, you know. On to another action, and now we're talking about is another emphasis on the 5-1 block. I mean the 4-5-1 of Siwelele, and you can see that Siema is his team is like well drilled. He knows the players have like studied what Pirates are trying to do. And what I don't like about this structure for Pirates, you know, is that we have 2 players occupying the same zone, 2 players occupying this like half space, you know, and someone here is in the wrong. And for me, what I will say is that, okay, Moremi is from the left hand side. He comes in so that this player, so that when he comes inside, you know, this player will follow him, and then there's space for Dion Holt, you know. So one of the players here, it's either Mofokeng has to move away from this area to occupy another zone, you know, because if they're occupying the same zone, it doesn't really help the team, you know. Yeah, so yeah, let's just see how they progress. You know, they play it over the top because there's space, and then it's just that they couldn't like finish. But this was a very good chance, you know, a very good chance, you know. But let's continue onto another action. Yeah, we have which is for Pirates here. It's a 3-1-6 structure. You know, you see they have a triangle here at the back. It's a 3, and then they have 1 structure. And once they did this, it's because they could see that there's no need to like have all these players here at the back, because if you take a look at the previous actions, you know, when Pirates were in this area, they would build up in a 3-2 shape, but now they switched to a 2-1, or maybe you could say a 3-1 structure, you know. But because they can see that it's like 3 players against 1, you know, so it's too much players here. So I think that's why they switched. And I like the fluidity of Pirates, you know, able to recognize the spaces, you know. And then you can see now we have a 3 here at the back, and then we have 1 midfielder, and then we have 6 players who are like trying to overwhelm the defense, you know. And this structure, I like it a lot, you know. I like it. Let's just see how they progress in this area. So here, what I don't like about here is that we have these two players that are making the same run. So they make the job of this player very easy. When from my understanding, when one player goes like is going forward, one player has to come short. When one player goes long, one has to come short, so that you make interchanging runs to confuse this player. Because now, if I think this is Hoto, yeah, it's Hoto here. If Hoto was to come short here, and then I think it's Moremi, this one, yeah, I think it's Moremi, and he was the one who's to go long, this player would be confused on who to mark, who to mark, and it would be difficult for him to choose the right player to choose. But now both of them are making the same run. It's easy for them to mark the ball, and they didn't even like capitalize on the moment. And let's just continue to the next action here. And now we are in this action. This action will be talking about the role of Makgopa, and Makgopa is it's more of a free roaming striker. A striker, I mean, a free roaming striker. He doesn't like sit like Mabasa, he doesn't sit like here as a target man. He moves around, in the pitch. He's like a free roaming striker, which I like those type of strikers, because they add more, they have more to give the team, they are able to occupy other areas to give them like numerical advantages. They like he can able to drop deep into the midfield to add numbers in the midfield so that they can progress. He's able to make runs out wide to stretch the defense, and that's the role of Makgopa is there. Like he's more than just a striker. A striker that just scores goals. He runs off the ball, he stretches the defense, he presses very well. So a striker like Makgopa's role is very important. Like I prefer Makgopa over Mabasa, by the way, just for people, just so because they don't know. Let me just play a video and see why I mean by what I'm saying. You see, he's able to make this run and then across. That's a great chance. It's just that they didn't convert the chance, but that's a great chance, and that's the importance of having a striker like Makgopa. He's able to make those runs, he's able to create chances for other teammates than himself. That's like a selfless striker. A selfless striker. It doesn't not like a traditional striker. Let's just score goals. Well done to Makgopa, man. He plays very well. I think that's why the coaches even like him. This is another action, and you could tell from this action here is the transitions that I've been talking about. The ball was lost there by Nduli, the ball was lost by Nduli, and then straight away Pirates is being attacked. So look at this. The rest defense of Pirates is something that they need to work on. The rest defense. What I mean by rest defense is the defensive structure you have when you have the ball. How are you going to defend the transitions? That's what is the rest defense. Are you organized enough so that when you do lose the ball, are you able to defend those moments? Those transitional moments. So leaving two center backs at the back, that's not the best way to defend like transitions. You have to at least have, to my knowledge, I think three players is, you have to have at least 3 players at the back, and then have a one sitting midfielder. But okay, in this clip here is that I think Pirates uses the fullbacks, like they're very attacking, the fullbacks of Pirates, and it's modern day football to have attacking fullbacks, but you can't attack like with both fullbacks at the same time. When one goes, one has to stay to to make up this defense. Because like I always say, when you play against better teams that have more quality than like Siwelele, teams that have more quality than Siwelele, you know, like TS Galaxy, all these other like smaller teams, you know, if you're playing against teams that have quality, they will punish these moments, you know. And Pirates had like 3 to 4 transition moments where they could have been punished. Here is just lack of quality, like I say, you know. And then Nduli loses the ball again. Nduli had like a bad game today, you know, didn't have really a good game, because even in the previous clip he was the one that lost the ball. And then again we're talking about the transition, I mean, you see there's 2 center backs. The center back now is being stretched. Mbokazi is like, now he has to like run into like an open area here against a very speedy player like Siwelele, you know. And against quality sides, man, Pirates will be punished, man. Pirates will be punished, because look at this. Just have to square pass it here to Nukovic, and Nukovic is a clinical strike. This guy would have not missed this opportunity, you know. But they choose by the lack of quality. Look at that. That's like 4 to 3 chances Siwelele had where they could like hit Pirates on the transition and score. But it wasn't to be, you know, it wasn't to be. So here we're moving on to another action, which is we'll see now. We have Apolis here, who's in the half space, and I always say that the half space is very dangerous. Centrally is very, like, attacking centrally is very dangerous. And Siwelele in the second half, like, it's very difficult to defend for 90 minutes. You know, players get tired, not just tired like physically, but mentally as well, because to defend and to play on the counter, it is like, it's mentally draining as well, because you have to be concentrating like for the full all the time, like focus, concentration. And here a lack of concentration leaves a player like Apolis free. That's very risky, to leave a player like Apolis to receive the ball without any pressure. You know, they played, able to progress. And then this pass here, Mufukeng, like Mufukeng, to me, like, he has to be like one of the best players in the country, because another player would have played the ball here, which is a more simpler pass to play it here. This is not a risky pass to play. Most, let me say, like 80% of the players would have played the ball out wide, but he chooses to play the ball here into the danger zone, like I said, centrally and verticality. That's where you become more dangerous as a team, because now when you play the ball here, you are taking this area here. You see this area here? This area is called zone 14. This area here is called zone 14, and that's the most dangerous zone in football. You know, yeah, zone 14. You can do your research on zone 14 and you'll see what I mean when I say zone 14. This area here is very dangerous, and you'll see what I mean. A reverse pass, one touch. Hey, son, you know, that was a good chance. You know, that was a good chance by Mariko. You know, and Mariko, man, I like Mariko, very good player. You know. So now on to the next action. Which is I think now I'm sounding like a broken record, you know, because I've been saying the same thing almost like the whole video. The transition to Pirates, you know, they have a ball here, and then they're gonna lose the ball, and then the transition again. Look at that, 1 against 1. A quality player, Finstin Maela type, that ends up being a goal, you know. But the quality, we were gonna get away with this because we don't have the quality. I mean, okay, with this one, this is the goal for Pirates. I think with this one, there's no need to talk. Just have to like admire the goal. Yeah, there's no talking about here. There's nothing to talk about. just have to admire. Just keep quiet, admire the goal. No tactics, no nothing. Just admire. Beautiful goal by Mbokazi. You know, leadership skills. You know, character. Top player, this guy. Top player, man. And yeah, there's nothing else for this game. You know, this was the showstopper moment. You know, and what I would like to say is that thank you for watching. You know, and I hope we can continue the conversation in the comment section. You can type the stuff that I didn't talk about, what you saw in the game, what you thought about the wonder goal by Mbokazi, some of the tactics that you've noticed that I haven't noticed. Yeah, man, thank you for watching the game. You can like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, and share the video. And yeah, peace. See you on the next video.